Today we're rating AI-generated Magic the Gathering cards. Alright, from the none other than the best Robo Rosewater Masters on Twitter. We're going to fire up this conversation with Guardians. A black, blue, white, 3 generic, 5 loyalty planeswalker. What are we in for? +1. Tap all enchantments. Because you never know when those enchantments are going to get out of control. Who knows? Maybe they'll do some tapping, untap, infinite combo. Likely. Are there any enchantments that tap to do anything? I mean, that just makes them artifacts at this point. Alright, so first ability, pretty useless. Oh, do you know what? If they're creatures, you get to tap them. Alright, so you can tap down all their enchantment creatures and clear the way for victory. Alright, then we got -1, search your library for a plains card from among them and put it into your hand. Any player may activate this ability. What? So hold on, whoa. If I activate this ability, then that means other people can also do the -1 and shrink my planeswalker down, if I understand this correctly. So we search our library for a plains card among them and put it into your hand. Any player may activate this ability. I would also like to -1 to look for a plains. I would also like to look for a plains. I don't even have plains in my deck and I want to look for a plains. It's a planeswalker. You better believe that. Any player may activate this ability is some nice design on a planeswalker, though it should rather be a plus. It should. So what does that mean? Like in a commander game, this is effectively like at 1? Or maybe 3 if you go tap all enchantments. Alright, if we somehow get to this ultimate, I don't know how, because it requires the cooperation of our opponents. -7, draw a card for each loyalty counter, remove this way. It's going to be at least 7, right? Draw two cards. Okay, so we're going to draw like 7, then we're going to draw 2 cards, shuffle up to 4 cards, then scry 2, then draw 2 cards. Each player may draw a card for each artifact with mana value equal to Guardian's power. You gain 1 life. This is so convoluted. I don't even know what we end up. Okay, we drew 7, then we drew up to 9, then we lose 4, we're down to 5, then we get to scry 2, then we draw 2, we're up to 7. So we get the 7 anyway. But you get the plains, not the person that... Oh, is that true? Search your library for a plains card from among them and put... I think any player gets the plains, the way I'm reading this. The way it makes sense to me. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. A level 7 judge can tell me otherwise. That's awful. I don't know if it's broken, but it's really weird. All right, the Guardians. I don't know what they're guarding. Oh, the Curry Sealer. Does anyone have curry out there with their rice? White, 2 generic, legendary instant. It has aviation, split second, counter target spell. Oh, we got counter spells for white. How does legendary work? Legendary instance, there needs to be like an artifact. There needs to be a legendary permanent on the battlefield, the form of artifact or something like that. Do you have more time to make breakfast? No, I have breakfast immediately after my show. I'm someone who skips breakfast, only eats breakfast at for lunch. 2 meals a day. Saves time and hassle. Lord Magicus sort of likes this. Sorry, busted. How is it? It's just 3 mana. It's 3 mana. I don't even think it's fair. Should only be 1. Yeah, we could make. I think we could make it even lower. Countering is blue. Have you ever heard of Mana Tithe? I think there's a little. I think we can bleed a little bit of blue onto white, in my opinion. Just don't give it a green. Green has everything for some reason. Green is the color that just absorbs from all other parts of the color pie. Oh, you got that? Ah, good. Green is all like, give this to me. You draw cards, give it. You exile the graveyard, give it. You destroy artifacts and enchantments, give it. Yeah, I think this is... I actually don't remember how legendary instants work, but I think this is fine. Moving on. We got the double Bannery. Says the picture with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, 7 banners in it. People all over the place. Green, 5 generic instant. Spells your opponent's cast that target 1 or more creatures that player don't control could produce. You had me until you had me in the first half, but you lost me in the second half. It doesn't make any sense. Spells your opponents cast that target one or more creatures that player don't control could produce. They just mishmash like 2 sentences in Magic the Gathering. We got a very pretty island. AI generated island. The Sparl in Beth. Betith. Blue 2 generic. Siren. Flash. Exploit. Is exploit a real mechanic? It almost made sense to the end. All right, so Flash, Exploit. I think Exploit's the one where enters the battlefield, you gotta sack a creature. When Sparl in Beth exploits a creature, counter target activated ability. It's not bad. That's not bad. That could be a real card. So you get to flash it in play. You get to flash it in play, counter an activated ability, and you get to keep the card in play. I can't remember. Do you have to sack another creature, or can you sack the creature that you put into play with Exploit? You still get that you still get the trigger. Yes, you can sack a creature when it ETBs. Pretty good. We like this card. It's gonna pass. You hear that, Wizards? That's a free one from the AI generated cards. Needs to be a merfolk. I guess. Only if it has 2 power, though. Only if it's 2 power. 1 power, not strong enough for me. All right, moving on. We got the Mutterback. The Mutterback Renew Burl. For a blue 2 generic, a 3/3 golem. Pay 2. Target player mills X cards, where X is the number of power cards in your hand. That's unique, and that's actually hard for Mill to use because they don't even want to have creatures with power in their hand in the first place. So this is not even a Mill card that they would want. Someone will make a jank deck out of this, and it's also hard to get big creatures in blue. I mean, they exist, but I mean, it's not easy. I mean, I guess you got, yeah, I don't know what else you could put into your hand. Target player's mills X cards, where X is the number of power cards in your hand. I'm assuming we're just adding all the power together. Look at that flavor text. MTG crossover with Slay the Spire. Wow, this is like breaking the fourth wall. Vic Gaming on Discord. Oh, okay, it wasn't AI generated. They put that in that that was in there on purpose. So we are assuming power means combined power of creatures. Yeah, I'm assuming so. I think that's a pass. I think we can pass this. Carlos, thanks so much for the super chat. When are you going to make Commander hot takes? We could do that. Maybe we can do that tomorrow. Maybe we can do that tomorrow. I got to remember that, though. Commander hot takes. We'll have some hot takes in Commander. Everyone's hot take is going to be like, oh, competitive players shouldn't exist. Oh, casual players shouldn't exist. Oh, nobody should exist. The Overver. Black 4 generic sorcery. Target player chooses a creature you don't control. You get energy for each player with the most night creatures you control. So are we counting like werewolves as the night creatures? Does that, you mean like Nightbound? Is that how we're interpreting this? Target player chooses a creature you don't control, and then you get energy for each player with the most... this makes no damn sense. Set it on fire! Basically burn it. We need more reprints of Magic 30 if we're going to have a handful of Power 9. Hot take, card pool is so wide, yet the amount of cards played is so narrow. Over time, cards just become obsolete. You know, you look at all the garbage that they have in Alpha, Beta, the Dark, Antiquities. It's all been replaced. All right, moving on. We've got Mage's Fury. For 0, it's an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may return a creature you control to its owner's hand. And it's a may. So I may recycle creatures over and over and over again. How can we abuse this? Like, what would you bring back to your hand? This is 0 mana. At the beginning of your upkeep, you can't dodge removal with this. So just at the beginning of your upkeep, you can just like put it back into your hand. Well, you guys think this is busted? Everyone's like, danger. Yo, this is bro. Okay, how are you beating this? Flicker decks. And abuse ETB. I mean, like, yeah, but Flicker keeps the thing in play. If you're returning a creature back to your hand, you got to recast it. You got to spend the mana. You got to spend mana to make mana here. Or spend mana to make ETBs. Endanger ETB abilities. First thought, Agent. It's not busted, but it's strong, says Witherfang. Everyone has a different opinion. Hot take, is Mage's Fury broken? It's really slow? Well, Mage's Fury is really fast. The combo might be slow. Wholesome says Restoration Angel and Friends. I don't know. I think it's actually okay. I think if you break it down, it's not going to be that broken. Isn't it similar to that other card? And you can only do it once. At the beginning of your upkeep, you return a creature, and you can't repeat this over and over again. There's no loop here. So you just get a little bit of extra value. Okay, so what are we doing? I think there was more like scrap it, send it to the flames, cast it, sacrifice it to the gods. So we're gonna say that this is not good to print, but I think it's okay. You know, you could debate it in the comments section below. I think it's clunky. Okay, the card's not clunky. You know what, it would be funny if just some random combo deck using Storm played this card. Oh, free 0 mana card. Let's just get Storm off. What do we have here? Royal. Isn't that a real card? Okay, we have Orzhov and 1 generic instant. Destroy target land or counter target spell. Oh, do we have both? You have both. You counter a spell. Okay, we have a white counter spell and black counter spell that, like, sinkholes you at instant speed. Instant speed! End of turn. I'm gonna blow up your land. Oh, no, maybe you need to counter a spell at the same time, though. Oh. Because I think you need targets for everything, and if you don't have a spell to target, you're screwed. That's actually... I mean, it's still going to be broken. You just basically shove this on anything that they play. You have to. They play one thing. Not only am I going to counter it, even if it's uncounterable, you try to counter it, and you just destroy their land. Yeah, it's still danger. It's still danger. This is above and beyond stupid. When you play a spell, if you don't have... No, you can't play a spell if you don't have all the targets. You need... If it says 1 or more, then you don't need all targets. But if it doesn't specify that, then you need a target for all these things. So you... counters its own spell? I don't think you can... I don't know if you can do that. I don't think so. You'll have at least one target. Counter spell. Target what? Counter. Well, then you'll just counter the thing that sinkholes itself. Anyway, still broken as hell. That is broken as... We don't need to debate that. The control players are just licking their chops at that one. We've got a Salesnia Giant, which is funny because they're in the color pie... not quite Salesnia. So blue, 1 generic enchantment. It's a giant enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile 3 cards from your graveyard. Mill 3 cards. Mill 3 cards instead. If you do draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards. This is just convoluted like that last one. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile 3 cards from your graveyard. Okay, goodbye. Mill 3 cards instead. Okay, so I'm not okay, we're not exiling the cards. We're gonna mill now. So we mill 3. And then if we did that, we draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards. Discard 2 cards at the beginning of your upkeep. That's actually pretty strong. If worded as it is, because you just get, it's, what's it called? You're basically, effectively what this says is draw 3, discard 2 every single turn. At the beginning of your upkeep. It will be delayed. It will be delayed. And it recycles itself. Cooper says it's broken. Zach says they would play it. The wording is it is. There's some there's a little bit of redundant wording on here. You don't need to exile cards from your graveyard. Apparently. Or I guess you could. Maybe you get the option. I don't know what the AI was thinking when they wanted to make this card. We got Bra Moment. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Nikachu, in good health. I got a request. What unrelated MTG item you bought or traded with MTG cards? For example, I got an AirPods Max with oh my goodness. You know, one of my friends was offered to get their lawn mowed 3 times. I don't know. Does everyone have a lot of cards traded for other stuff? That might be a topic. I don't know. You let me know in the comments section if there's enough people that have traded. I don't know if I've ever traded magic cards for something non-magic before. Or maybe I have. If I dig deep into my memory bank. Okay, send that to the gods. What are we doing here? Nice, not broken. Alright. I think it's a bit convoluted. But we're gonna make it pass. It's gonna pass. Dredge loves this card. Maybe not. Because you don't get the ability immediately. Yeah, it only happens at your upkeep, and then that's exactly what you don't get the effect immediately. You gotta wait until next turn. Dredge don't like that. Dredge wants to be paid immediately. Okay, Sirgan the Mighty for 4 generic. We got a 0/0 beast. Oh, but we're gonna get back to that 0/0 beast because right now we gotta do some housekeeping. We gotta talk FusionGamingOnline.com. Today's sponsor, same as yesterday's sponsor, and the day before that, and the day before that. Deal of the week this week, save 15% off Ravnica City of Guilds block singles. We're talking Shot Clan's Dark Confidant. We have like some signets in there. Oh, what is this enchantment? The monument thing. Yeah, the monument thing. And if 15% off is not enough for all of you, don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get an additional 5% off all your purchases. We're also gonna thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting magic cards online. Your ability to play any deck, any format, anytime you want. You can even play in the kiddie section. You could rent from Mana Traders and then, you know, play in, unlock your creativity with some wild decks and don't spend any money on leagues. Anyway, you can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_P9 to the S. Nikachu_P9 to the S. And back to, whoops. Where am I? Back to the crazy AI generated cards. That code, say it 5 times fast. I know, without the to the part. 50%? Oh, I'm like... Oh, I'm liking 75. I mean, did I say 50? I meant 5%. Did I go crazy with the coupon code? Okay, what are we doing here? Sirgan the Mighty, 4 generic for a 4/0/0 rat beast. Rat the Bumbling. The next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn. Alright, so I get damage this turn. I have to rat the Bumbling. I have to rat the Bumbling. What, am I going to tell on the bumbling person? I'm sorry for my interpretation. I'm doing my best. Tap, target creature can't block this turn. This is the most reliable ability that I see. Oh, by the way, this thing just dies instantly. Like, it literally dies. Yeah, it dies in instant death. Do I have a sound effect for that? Instant death. Okay, that's the best I got. Some ETBs are worth paying for every turn. Yep. Next time it would source of your choice would deal damage to you. So basically you have to play, I don't know, Metallic Mimic named Beast so that you can get this in play with a +1/+1 counter on it. Oh yeah, the set symbol is, who knows where it came from. Anyway, this is super stupid. Okay, moving on. The Robber Angel. 2 generic for a 0/3 whale horror. It's not a horror, it's a horror. Improvise. I don't remember what improvise is. I think you can like tap artifacts in order to help cast the spell. Animing, whenever you cast a spell with mana value 1 or fill in the blank. Basically put whatever you want. We're playing with an unset all of a sudden. I think the AI got inspired by a bunch of unset cards and now is like, all right, you guys can fill in the gaps. You do the work for me, humans. AI having a rough day. Yeah, having a really rough day. Must be a Monday for these AI cards. This makes no sense. Print it, says Wizards R&D, probably. Somewhere. Someone. Print lets you make your own card. I guess. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 1 or something. Anyway. Can't use this card either. Doesn't do anything. Heavy the Kaldi for generic. Pay 3, tap. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You skip your next turn, then shuffle your library. Jesus! That is quite a cost. We spent 7 mana just to look at the top 5 cards of your library. That's crazy. Wobbit, thank you so much for your super chat. First time commenter, long time watcher. Welcome. This would go down in history as one of the worst AI generated cards ever designed. That makes sense. There's a lot of cards that don't make sense. This one actually makes sense. You could print this, I guess. Oh, by the way, hold on. Whoa. Okay, this goes so deep. We look at the top 5 cards, and we're going to lose our turn. But then we're going to shuffle our library. So whatever knowledge we gained from looking at the top 5 cards are gone. It's just gone. Holy moly. But technically, we can print this. We can actually print this. This is a legible, actual card. I saw this, and I was hoping you'd see it too. Absolutely. This is crazy. Yeah, we shuffle them back. Man, top 10 worst AI-generated cards. Heavy of the Kaldi makes the list. All right, terrible. Absolutely terrible card. We've got... How do I do this? Okay, we got a split card here. Telling Sage. Blue for generic instant. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Okay, a little expensive, but whatever. And then the Urfer of Custodian. Is that like a janitor? Black to generic instant. Urfer of Custodian deals 3 damage to target creature and 2 damage to target creature. Not bad! Okay, so we can return a creature, because it has fuse, right? So we can, like, pair them up together. Bounce that, deal 3 damage to that, deal 2 damage to that. It actually makes sense for once. This card actually is playable. Printable. Once in a while, the AI actually knows how to make a card. Not consistently, but who knows? Maybe that's the same process at Wizards R&D. You never know. Maybe they're having the same problem. This is busted. Redesign it. Blocketeer's Eyes. Black 2 generic instant. Target opponent loses 2 life for each card in your hand. Ooh. Ooh. A lot of oohs out there. Wow. Target opponent loses 2 life for each card in your hand. And you could like make a big play, like draw 1,000,000 cards that turn, you know, get up to 14, and before you have to discard for the turn, all right, Blocketeer's Eyes you for like, I don't know, 28 damage. Or not 28, you lose 28 life or whatever. You like it. I don't think it's broken. It only hits 1 opponent and that's it. Also the great art. Yes, beautiful art. It danger? Maybe that danger. What do you guys think? It danger or it fair? It danger or are we printing this thing? I think we can print it. It's common. Well, it's terrible in draft. Or is it terrible? Maybe it's not terrible in draft. Maybe this is good in draft. You could play this on turn 3 and make your opponent like lose, what, 8 life or something? Now that I think of it, Burn might splash for this card. Although you need to have cards in your hand. It's a bad top deck. Really bad top deck. Necro breaks this card, maybe. But remember, it's only 1 opponent. 1 times 1 for it danger. It's fair. It's fair but powerful. Mono black burn. Mono black burn, baby. It could be really good. Let's say on average you have, what, 4 to 5 cards. So 3 mana for 8 to 10 damage. Yep, says Josh. It's common and would see play in Pauper, and you could loop it with this with Monarch or Muldrifter. Oh yes, and the Monarch would fuel cards in your hand. Danger, but I'm gonna print it because it's the one of the more legible cards that we've seen today. So we print it. Soul Nimbers, a green black 5 generic human monk that's 7/7 with trample. So we're spending 7 mana for a 7/7. Those are lucky numbers. Whenever Soul Nimbers deals combat damage to a player, you lose the game. Why do we have this thing? Why? What's the point? Can deal damage to you. Okay, well, time to pack. I need to go home. I'm going to attack you with my soul nimbers. Yep, that checks out. I mean, you will deal some damage to somebody. You know what? It's a trigger. So you could kill somebody if they're at 7 life. You attack, kill them. It's like good for the final swing, right? You want to donate and force attack. Oh my god. Like with goading? Man, you're going deep there. That's deep. Beamtown Bully deck, goad it. Oh, so you guys know how to break this card. This is gold. It's Zyber. Yeah, Zyber is good. Danger is bad. Soul Nimbers was feeling guilty for that. Yeah, I'm so sorry what I did to you. I will sacrifice myself now. I'll just sacrifice myself. Gotta balance that tramp. Yeah, gotta balance the trample ability. Then healing salve. Or if you would lose the game, your life total becomes 1. So you all know how to game. Okay, I guess we can print it. It's not doing anything illegal. You can legally lose the game. You could also win the game with soul nimbers. The soul nimbers. Deal damage. We have a lot of insane cards today. Oh, we got a king. Or, sorry, a lord of sanity. For 0 mana? I don't think so. So it's a 3/2 artifact. It's not even a creature. So the power and toughness appears to be completely redundant. I guess you have to, like, animate this thing. You can equip for 4. No land has hexproof. All right, they're talking to you, Lotus Field. And whenever a spell or ability is put into a graveyard, you gain 1 life. Okay. Whenever a spell or ability is put into a graveyard, if you can get those abilities into that graveyard, you're just gonna be making sick bank here. Yeah, it is anti-Lotus Field tech. Half of it makes sense, and the other half is just reaching too hard. Or just has stuff on here for decoration. Ability put into graveyard. I think it needs actually a lot of work. The 3/2 shouldn't be there. Using the ability to put something in the graveyard shouldn't be there. I don't even think this should cost 0 mana either. Yeah, 0 mana danger. How the equip works? You sink 4 mana, you equip it to something. Equip for 4. We got the Ancient Scroungel. A white 3 generic instant. Put target creature on top of its owner's library. That's Submerge. That's classic Submerge. Put target creature on top. It's a good card, too. It's a good card. Submerge, I think, is 5 mana. It can be free. If you have an island, your opponent has a forest. I think that's how it works. It's not an equipment, though. Oh, so does it really... you can't equip if it doesn't say equipment? Okay, it says equip for, not equipment. It's a 3/2 creature, not a creature. I'm going to go back to the Ancient Scroungel. The Ancient Scroungel. Do spells technically go to the graveyard, or do cards go? I think cards go to the graveyard. I don't know the rules that nuanced, but whatever. I believe cards go to the graveyard. David with the super chat. Lord of Sanity looks insane in that picture. Agreed. 100%. Lord of Sanity by name, but made him go insane. All right, I think actually we can just easily print this card. I think it's not broken. I could be wrong. Oh, Scott says spells do still technically go to the yard. Okay, that's good to know. Are we allowed to do streams? Well, we are doing a stream. What kind of question is this? Is there a keyword for put a creature on top of its owner's library? If not, it should be should be Scroungel. I'll Scroungel your creature back to the top. I think there is a is it called Bear? No, it's not called Berry. There is like there is, I think, a card that describes this effect, but it's not official. Anyway, moving on. Sakashima of the Agrim, a black-blue 2 generic for a flying 0/0 demon. You see, the AI loves these 0/0 creatures. 0/0s. When it enters the battlefield, you get 4 energy. All right, so we're going to get a little something out of it, even though it's going to die instantly. And we can pay Eight energy. Destroy target opponent. We get to destroy... What? For 8 energy? So this... Okay, so you basically spend like turn 2, turn 3 building up your energy, and you go... Oh, hold on. No, but how... Okay, this thing has to live. Because it will die No, enters the battlefield. Okay, how does this work? I think based on game state-based effects, it's going to die instantly. Like, even with the trigger on the stack. Like, you'll get the trigger, but Sakashima of Agrim is dead. So you need to somehow get this in play with, like, a +1/+1 life. Or so, yeah, some sort of anthem. Give it global, and then you're online. So there is a little bit of work to destroy your opponent here. Use it with Bad Moon. You state-based... Yeah, state-based prevents you from being able to use the ability. That's the tricky part, you know? The AI had this figured out. We can't be destroying opponents unless the creature's just gonna die instantly. Give it Undying. Oh, you can't. There'll never be a point. Unless there's like an enchantment that says all creatures get Undying. Because the problem is, like, the way it would work is that it enters the battlefield, just dies instantly. You don't get priority to cast spells or anything. And then its trigger goes on the stack, but it's not there anymore. So you get the 4 energy. True fact, destroying opponents isn't the first time has been used on a magic card. Really? Destroy target opponent. I heard, like, someone in R&D wanted to create a destroy target opponent card, and they're like, no, we're not doing that. Scrap it. Get out of here. Destroying your opponent is broken. And it'll make them feel so bad, too. Like, you know how the board feels, right, at Commander? Like, when you clearly can kill somebody, and then everyone is just sort of... They're, like, minding their own business. They've got their cards. They have their cards in their hand, and they're just staring at them. Everyone's just sort of like, don't look at me. Don't pay attention to me. Nope. Look at those two other guys. Get the heat off. Don't put so much heat on me. Oh, did Door to Nothingness literally say destroy target opponent? Target player... No, they said target player loses the game. Not target player... Destroy target opponent. It's a little different. A little bit different. You can necrotic ooze this thing. To be honest, 8 energy is not hard to generate. This is just too easy of a win con. No, well, the deal is you gotta, like, somehow... Anyway, we shipping... I think we're gonna ship this one. I think it's a cute card. I think it's a bit of a work to get it online, because you have to... I mean, the puzzle is how to get the Sakashima of Agrim to live in order to use its ability. Anyway, funny stuff. A double-sided card. The Mossborne Conquisitor. The Mossborne Conquisitor is a white 1 generic, 1/1 flying first strike megamorph for a white 2 generic. And whenever you cast a spirit or arcane spell, you may transform Mossborne Conquisitor. So all we have to do is cast a spirit. And it turns into creature tokens you have death touch. But it's enormous! This guy's insane! This is a 5/6 creature. I mean, it's basically like a Tarmogoyf. Approaching Calamity, thanks so much for the super chat. Copy ability with Mimoplasm. I like it, but broken. It still requires work. I mean, you gotta play like this 1/1 creature first. And then it's got flying in first strike. And then you have to cast your spirit. You have to cast the spirit. Or you know what you could do? You could vial this in play on the front end. And then cast a spirit and flip it into a 5/6 creature. And how many creature tokens are you going to have in your spirit deck or human deck? Maybe for Modern Horizons? It's white, so print it. That dude's art is cool. He is so angry. Absolutely. You peeved me off. Tesa would love this. 2-mana build-around card. I sense danger. Okay, what are we doing? Are we gonna say it danger, or are we gonna say it Zyber? This is technically a triple-sided card. How so? How do you get to the third side? Do 3-sided cards exist? How does that work in Magic? Beanpot says ship. Witherfang says awesome. Print, it's Zyber. You guys say it's Zyber. Alright, it's Zyber. It's Zyber, so it's Zyber. Moving along to the Palaka the Goblin. A white 2 generic 5/5 human wizard flying. Whenever Palaka the Goblin attacks, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, add 2 colorless. Any player may put a goblin counter on Palaka the Goblin. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, add mana. Any player may put a goblin counter on Palaka the Goblin. Well, it's a it says Palaka the Goblin, but actually it's a human wizard that becomes a goblin. Finally, becomes exactly what he wanted. Is it Steel Overseer with a cape? Yeah, it's not even, well, not yet. Your opponent, any player may put a goblin counter on Palaka the Goblin. You know what? I know you want to become a goblin. All right, you're going to be, I make you a goblin now. Control, this doesn't really do any. It's just a 4/4, sorry, it's a 5/5 flyer for 4 mana effectively. It doesn't add 2 generic mana. Any player, you do get some mana in the moment while you attack, and that's about it. 2 mana for combat tricks. Yeah, you can't use it any other way. Seems danger. I think it seems fine, but it's a bit weird that it ain't a goblin then turns into a goblin. Is there any database with these? No, I don't think there's any database. The database is Robo Rosewater Masters. That's the database right here. The Twitter account, Robo Rosewater _Masters. Recording the history of all these crazy things. Yeah, you can Warping Whale at whatever. Okay, we'll say it passes. It's not one of the more egregious cards on today's list. Basic Mountain. Looks like something from Transformers. Squid Bazugrian. The green 1 generic 5/5 dragon spirit. We can pay a red and 1 generic. Sacrifice the Squid. Target player gets an emblem with creatures you control have protection from dragons. Why would we want to give them that? Well, we could give ourselves that, I guess, for the dragon mirror. But otherwise, it's like, okay, I'm going to sack my dragon, and I give you protection from my creatures. Very likely. Take that, blue-red dragon player. Or, sorry, there's an actual card called right? Trash, but at least it's a real... It is a real card! Very how situational. I mean, at worst case scenario, you got a 4 mana 5/5. Still 5/5 for 4 mana. You got yourself, what's it called? The Juzam Jin. Anti-dragon tech in your dragon. Yeah, you can target yourself. Just in case your opponent has other dragons. I guess you randomly put this in your deck for the dragon player in your play group or something. Just say, hey, I know you got dragons, so I'm gonna play the Squid. No, not the Squid. And everything has protection. Alright, it passes. Very bizarre. Why is it green? Because green has everything. That's why. Welcome to Magic the Gathering. Green takes over. The Plague Shepherd. Red 5 generic 3/3 elk shaman. So you're like an elk and you're a shepherd of your own elk. Vigilance, indestructible, trample. If you gain life, you gain that much life. So we gain double the life. So if we gain 5 life, we get like 10. And red. Plague Shepherd deals 1 damage to each opponent. If that Planeswalker's controller pays 1. That player loses life equal to that creature's power. Planeswalkers are not opponents. We have red life gain. Let's go. I mean, well, not technically. It doesn't gain life. It's just if you would gain life, somehow, some way, you get it. Infinite life. Oh, yeah! So what, you, like, draw the game? If you would gain life, you gain that much life. Does it actually go infinite? Let's say it's 5. So instead of 5, you just gain 10. It says if you would. It doesn't say when you gain, if you gain life. It says if you would gain life, you gain that much life. I don't think it goes infinite. You can't replace an effect. Yeah, you cannot replace an effect more than once. So I think you'll gain like your 10 life. If you were to gain 5 life, you end up gaining 10 life instead. But it doesn't trigger. It doesn't say oh, it doesn't say instead, does it? It says if you would. It's close enough. Okay, anyway, this is a stupid card anyway. The ability on the bottom sucks. Another Transformers looking robot. The Guild Geet Dragon. So, a green, black, 2 generic. Sweet picture. For an instant, choose 1. Guild Geet Dragon deals 3 damage to each creature. Destroy target creature. Destroy target land. Destroy all creatures. Because you can go 1 or we can go all. Destroy all artifacts. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, flexibility 100. It slices, it dices. It makes julienne fries. It's the next Swiss Army knife of Magic the Gathering. And it's only 4 mana. Bro, that danger is F. That danger pretty hard. You guys think this is danger? Deals 3 damage to each creature. So, like, if you're playing a deck with, like, really big, beefy creatures, it would just ignore this. You can destroy 1 creature. You can destroy a land. Yeah, you really do everything with this. But would it be too strong for Commander? You only get 1. Choose 1. You choose nothing else. Yeah, it's still an instant. It's crazy. Simic doesn't need this much help. It's not Simic. It's Golgari. When do you choose? You choose on casting. So you gotta let them know. Imagine you were allowed to... Cryptic command. Was it choosing? I won't tell you. I won't tell you. I'm not gonna tell you till it resolves. No, it's not that bad. Oh, God. Okay, are we shipping or shredding this thing? I think I want to ship it. I know it's a little overpowered, but it's like a legal card. I don't think it's that overpowered. You only get to do... I mean, 4 mana... Like, Vindicate is 3 mana. Like, Vindicate is like half of this is Vindicate, right? Destroy a creature, destroy a land. Okay, it's just a small part of it. Shred, ship, broken, shred. Ooh, it's pretty divided. Ship, it's green, ship. Not in standard, though. If it was sorcery, it'd be fair. Alright. We're gonna shred this one. Now, the Coldation Vial of the Tides. A green 3 generic 2/2 zombie wizard with prowess. I don't think I've ever seen a green creature with prowess before. When Coldation Vial of the Tides enters the battlefield, if you control another Eldrazi spawn, ham this process with a tap and 1 green. You go ham. The AI was like, what does go ham mean? Well, this is what go ham means. You get to add a green. You get to add a green mana. Yeah, ham this. What's ham? You go ham. Ham this process. Ham it. Love that ham. Ham, ha ha ha. Process the ham? Oh yeah, process the ham, ham this process. Either way, we're gonna get a green out of this. What's in the background? Is it pigs? I don't know what I'm looking at in the background here. Yeah, go ham on this. But we need an Eldrazi. What does the Eldrazi spawn have anything to do with this? I don't get the flavor. Delicious ham. It danger ship. Okay. It danger ship. Okay, moving on. This is a bizarre card. It ham. Is that gonna be my thumbnail? It ham? Or ham this process. Ham this process. Add a green. Okay, we got the Powells Sleet Messabat. Black 5 generic. 2/2 horror with Trabmull 4. Trabmull. That's right. You heard us correctly. Trabmull 4. What it means, I have no idea. I don't understand why the AI generated cards can't like tell me what the keywords mean. Like that exists on real Magic cards, especially in the newbie Magic cards where it has like first strike and explains what first strike is, explains what explains the keywords. Well, at least it's not Trabmull 5. Anyway, we have no idea what this means. 4 is too many. It should have been travel too. All right, a danger. Archivist Patrice. Archivist Patrice. For a blue sorcery, each player discards all the cards in their hand. Oh, it's like one with nothing. But it's everybody. One with nothing for everyone. And the picture is nothing. There is nothing there. Turn 1, you'd be so far ahead. Imagine you empty your hand. You go, I don't know, turn 1, Soul Ring, and then Mox Diamond. Archivist Patrice. All right, let's all start the game by ripping cards off the top of the deck. Print. Shred. Bomb. Danger. Danger. Ship it. Broken. Danger. Yeah, I know. I think this could be... If you have this in your opening hand... If you just go land Archivist Patrice, that's probably good enough. But any deck with enough 0 mana or mana efficient stuff, this would be really strong. I hate this card so much. I mean, also, like, certain decks could be like, okay, spew my hand on turn 1. Turn 2, Archivist... Or, like, spew more and then Archivist Patrice, so... Super danger. I think, go to jail. Too dangerous. Ooh, this looks nice. Noxious Avenger. For a green 3 generic, we have a 1/1 human warlock. When Noxious Avenger blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, destroy all attacking creatures. Whenever it blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, destroy all attacking creatures. Hold on. Okay, whoa. Wait a minute. This is stupid. So if it blocks or becomes blocked by a creature... So hold on, if I attack... Okay, so it is good on defense. Because if you attack me with everything, I just block one thing. You lose your entire board. However, if I attack with everything, I lose my entire board. So I have to make sure that it never gets blocked. Yeah, better not attack with it. Could be... You might not like the result. I believe you reviewed guy drove 500 miles. His opponent could have used that with all his 0 mana equipments. Yeah. Legendary and costs green and black and 2 colorless. Oh, I think you were like way... I think you're behind on the stream. Make it sack itself and it should be somewhat okay. I think this is somewhat fair. Like, if you want to... it only destroys the attacking creature. So if you're attacking the Noxious Avenger player, then you just make sure you attack with 1 creature. That's it. Crimson Wolf said, thanks so much for the super chat. Tramble 4 is hamming process 4 times. Oh, God. It's going deep. I think we can print this card, and I think we can print it easily. Yeah, it dies easily, costs 4. Very interesting card. Yeah, weak body for 4 mana anyway. You just touch it, and it dies. Just gut shot the damn thing. Can't even take the shock of static electricity. Touch of Corrish. Black. 6 generic for a 6/5 demon. Look at that ominous hand coming down. When Touch of Corrish enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls with mana value 3 or less. And whenever Touch of Corrish attacks, you may pay 2. If you do, create a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. It's okay. It's okay. 9 mana. You're paying for it. It's an uncommon bond. I think it's common. I think it's common. Draft them all up. But how are you even going to cast it? Why red and blue? It's the ally colors. That's why. It's the allies. Both common. Hey, it's very fair. All right. Looks good. It don't danger. So we can move on. We have another Planeswalker. The Dead Mage Horde. Green, 2 generic for a... Vivian! Oh, God. The evolution of Vivian. Maybe she's been completed. For 4 loyalty, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a loyalty counter on Dead Mage Horde. Remove a loyalty counter from Dead Mage Horde. Create a 1/1 white bird creature token of flying. That is a really unique mechanic. So basically, you can sack this thing to get 4... It could be 4 mana for just 4 1/1 white birds in the air. It's Zyber. So we go -1, exile up to 1 target blue creature you control. Okay. Do we get it back? No? So what was the point of that? -2, add... Oh, it adds mana, so we can get a blue and a red. Tap 2 untapped artifacts you control. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. Oh my god! Oh my... It seemed so fair up until that point. Because now what you can do is... I think automatically you could just go -3, put all the birds in play, and then you just bounce the dead mage horde back to your hand. You just do this for eternity. Tap 2 artifacts to return 1 to your hand. That alone is so... Yeah, I know, it's so broken. It looks so good up until that point. Yeah, the last ability. Damn it. Tap to untap art. Oh, no, you can't. Oh, sorry. It has to be artifacts. These birds are not artifacts. Okay, so we can't. Wait, so I could tap. Yeah, you can tap your artifact lands. That will work. So yeah, it's So you can't go crazy with the white bird. So there's nothing immediately broken with this, but if you build this around some artifact deck, it will go crazy. And I'm sure there's ways like you can like tap artifacts, loop artifacts, get them back in play, recast them. It'll be nuts. You also have to pay for it. You do have to pay for it. It's still a bit danger. I think it's danger. Sorry, we can't print you, Vivian. That static ability. They snuck at it right at the bottom, you know? The static abilities are supposed to be at the top. They're like, well, hopefully maybe nobody notices this and it'll squeeze by through R&D. Maybe Mark Rosewater won't read to the end of the card. It's historic. It's historic. For a green-red 2 generic snow instant, add green, green, green rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Take an extra turn after this one. Hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Add green, green, green rather than pay the spell's mana. What? So hold on. We're not paying mana. We're getting mana, and then we get to take an extra turn after this one. And it's a snow instant. This is like one of the most broken cards of all time. Add green. So I could choose not to pay for this thing and instead get 3 green out of it. I'd like to get some 3 green out of this and take an extra turn after this one. It's one of the most broken ever. Absolutely. Well, technically it doesn't win the game on the spot, so there are more broken cards out there. Yeah, it's now the Power 10. And today we christened the Power 10. With all these AI generated cards, there's like Power 50. I should make a collection, the Power 50. The most busted AI generated cards. Pillar of the Griffin. Red 3 generic for a 2/4 vampire soldier. Whenever a player would draw a card, instead they lose 2 life and create 3 2/2 green wolf creature tokens. When a player would draw a card, instead they... That's interesting. You don't draw cards anymore. You're sort of on a clock every single time you do, but you're gonna get 3 2/2 green wolf creature tokens instead. Seems fair but interesting. And there are ways you could, and this is any player. So, hold on, is the game, like, determined at that point? Because no one can draw cards anymore. So, like, we're not drawing cards, and you have X amount of life. You can make only so many green wolf creature tokens. Use this with Silent Arbiter? I don't know what that card does. Yeah, no more magic, only wolves. It's a vampire, making them not awake. Yeah. What a flavor fail. Vampires with the wolf. It's not that crazy. I mean, the vampires, I'm sure they like hang out with the wolves every so often. Werewolf decks would probably like this, but everyone has werewolves. Who needs cards when you have stats? Probably drop it to 1 or 2 wolves if R&D had. I have no idea how to evaluate this card. It could be broken. It could be fair. I mean, it's 4 mana, 2/4 creature, and everyone gets the effect. Everyone's affected. I guess the person... Okay, you know what breaks this card? If you have the werewolf lords. So if your 2/2s are actually 3/3s, and it makes it very difficult for your opponents to, like, block, maybe you're now in control and you have the power. And then imagine if someone plays, like, Windfall after this. All right, everyone loses a bunch of life and then just gets a bunch of green wolf creature tokens. Yeah, this then wheel, exactly. Wheel of Fortune. Spin that wheel! I'm gonna say it passes. It's a goofy card. The Bone Speaker Enforcer, a white 2 generic zombie wizard, a 1/2 creature. Tap, spend twice, and permanents are colorless. Make no sense. Basically, put in scrapyard, please. Anthor's Fire, 1 generic equipment, equip 2. As Anthor's Fire becomes attached to a creature, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Come again. As Anthor's Fire becomes attached to a creature, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. That's very fair. This is actually insane. It's too fair, actually. It's too fair for the show. Get it out of here. So basically, you can like keep. You basically pay 2 to loot. You just move it between a bunch of cards. Yeah, the spiel later. We are looting for 2 mana. Is this not the name of the card that says it danger? The Spule Lighter? I can't remember. Oh no, that was another card. Okay, sorry. I don't know if your name was is associated with one of the AI generated cards. Broken with Paladin? Oh, so there's a way of breaking this card. Is there anything with like equip costs are like 0, so you just basically move it back and forth and loot through your entire library? Hey, Etch Garray, Nikachu, first time catch you on stream. I was wondering if we could access your music playlist. Sorry, I don't have one. It's just a bunch of Earthbound, Mother 3. Just look up Earthbound SNES, Mother 3, and Animal Crossings. And I picked through it all. Expopting Confluence. We have got white 4 generic for a Minotaur wizard. Very proud of himself over there. 3 loyalty, +1 draw a card. Not bad! -2. Expopting Confluence deals 1 damage to any target. Anything. Could hit that Ragavan. It could hit you. Beware. Beware of the Expopting Confluence. Alright, so what's -8? Sealock into target player's life total. Makes no sense to me. It almost was a real card. Yeah, Sealock. Or Sealock, I don't know. I'll Sealock into your life total if you know what that means. if you know what I mean. Sealock into target player's life total. Do we like combine life totals maybe? Is that how we can interpret this? We just combine, so like my life total is now your life total, so if I get damaged, you get damaged. That sounds like a mechanic that could basically turns into like 2-headed giant. Look at the artist's name on Expopting. It's RRWM, Robo Rosewater. Masters. All right, anyway, I think this is, I don't know if I gave it a rating, but I'm rating it. Gone. Okay, we got the wee Aether Tsar. So we got we got a 3/3 fungus zombie artificer druid for 1 Phyrexian 3 generic. The last time I saw 1 green Phyrexian 3 generic, the card was called Birthing Pod, and it destroyed everybody. So pay a white, tap, exile target creature you don't control with power 2 or less. Exile target creature you don't control with power 2 or less. Oh, ugh, that sounds dangerous. So I get to ramp this out on turn 3 and just start exiling things every turn. The small stuff. Then we got white 1 generic, create a 2/1 white knight creature token with vigilance. It's like, it's a good card. It's a good card. It will do nothing versus some decks though, and it is vulnerable to everything. Like it dies to everything. Dies to Doomblade. Soft danger, exactly. Wow, so many supported creature types. That alone is danger. Seems fair to me. I think we can make it pass. Yeah, we'll let it pass. We'll let it slide here. It's possible this is just broken. Control power 2 or less. Anything with power 2. I mean, that could be also very expensive cards as well. Who knows? Full image for the way Ethers are. Ashnod's Defiance. Red 1 generic sorcery. Each player sacrifices 5 creatures at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. Holy moly! Each player sacks 5 creatures at the beginning of the next, like your turn or their next turn. And it's only 2 mana. I mean, it's basically board wipe. Board wipe for 2 mana, unless you're like a token deck that has a million tokens on the battlefield. Let's say goodbye. Hello, bye-bye, board state. See ya. So long. Wouldn't want to be ya. 2 mana Wrath is broken. Yeah, 2 mana. Well, it is too cheap, but it doesn't technically wipe out everything. It's just not if you don't have that many cards on the battlefield. So I mean, in the late game, it might not do that much, and also it might help enable people who want to sack their creatures. Too strong for 2 mana. Okay, I'm gonna trust you guys. 1-on-1, this would be broken anyway. So we're gonna say it don't pass. 2 mana Wrath. And gets around people like with indestructible creatures too. You got indestructible? Sack it. You don't like it? Well, I don't care. Hazardun Fation. Fation. Green, 4 generic for a 7/7 cleric. It's a big cleric. Because usually these clerics are really small, puny creatures. Trample. When Hazardun Fation enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature that isn't a creature. When Hazardun Fation enters the battlefield, put a counter on each creature that isn't a creature. How are you gonna do that? That's impossible. You can't put counters on creatures that aren't creatures. If it isn't a creature, then it's just not a creature. So basically it does nothing. It's like land creatures. No, it's still a creature though. Like if you activate it, it's a creature. Vehicles, maybe? What does vehicles count? Smuggler's Copter. Oh, you know what? I think this counts. I think that's what it would. It turns into a creature, but it's not technically a creature. Yeah, I think, alright, so we have something that will buff up vehicles at the very least. Vehicles, yeah, vehicles count as the artifacts. Put a counter on each creature that isn't a... Well, I still don't know if you still get the counter on it. Oh, it's a weird one. It's a counter target instant that isn't an instant. So, anyway. Bye-bye to Hazardun Fation. And we got the Lock Patuki. So we got Rakdos, a blue, an X, and Gruul. Sorcery. Choose one or more... You just prevent X life. As I like how they give you the illusion that you've got some choice here. Choose one or more, prevent X life. That's it. Here's your choices. Here's all of them. Don't be, yeah, best card ever. All right, we're gonna make this thing passes. It's not broken. It's a little awkward though. Choose one or more, prevent X life. Can I do it more than once? I prevent your life. Why X in the middle? Prevent X life. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. We're preventing life, not damage. So that's really bizarre. It prevents me from gaining life. I didn't catch that one. Prevent X life or prevent X. No, we're definitely preventing life. Prevent life gain. I don't want to gain that life. I mean, it's good for the Death Shadow players, I guess, to keep their life total nice and low, keep their Death Shadow nice and big. I choose to prevent my life 10 times. What a bizarre one. What a bizarre world card. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for being here for Coffee and MTG. We do this 11 o'clock a.m. now, Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. That's the new time for 20... Well, we're going to experiment with this for like a month or so, see how well it works. Thank you very much, everyone, for your super chats. I really appreciate it. Everyone who supports the channel by being a member on YouTube or a patron on Patreon. If you want to support the channel because you love being part of the Coffee crew, I got links to all that in the description below. But the most important thing is I'd like to thank all of you guys for showing up. Because if you didn't show up, I got no show. I got nothing. As usual, I remind you every show, you guys are the show. I'm nothing without all of you. So as usual, keep brewing up those coffees, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves.